Now we're live. Just see what funny noises you would make if I lied and said we were live. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Bonus Action Heroes. Tonight we're playing Out of the Abyss, and probably should introduce our new player, which is Dan or Danny, who's playing Crumplun Shadow Belch. Hi, Dan. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your character? Great name, by the way.
Yeah, he's I forgot what he is. Yeah, he was a grey dwarf, a fighter, and well, he's just met the party. So yeah, he's bald, got a biggish beard, he's got quite a hunch, and he's like slunk over. And he has a little shuffle, and he's just met the group and is about to show them the way they need to go, if you can remember.
Nice. Thanks, Dan. Jim, I think you were, just before we started the stream, you were giving such a wonderful refresh of what occurred last session. So do you want to go for it again?
I vaguely recalled what happened last time, and you deemed that worthy enough that I have to do the recap again.
Well, do we want to do it where I ask questions and you answer them? Would that be helpful?
Sure.
Okay.
It just sounds like a new formula.
Yeah. Because I remember some of it, but not all of it. So we were getting in trouble because we did stupid things at the prison. How did we get out of that?
One of us had to take the blame for committing the murder, and I volunteered. So we have 48 hours to prove they were doing something illegal. Otherwise, Drodin would get eaten by Ember Shard.
Okay. 48
Which I would
hours.
like to remind people, we have 48 hours until my character is eaten by a dragon.
So it's 48 hours or Drodin gets nommed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably more like 47 now. Just to let you know.
Okay. Were there any other stipulations, or do we just need some kind of concrete evidence as to that there'd be big trouble?
I think we just have to prove that they're doing something illegal.
Okay, and then we went to the stone giants.
We were told to go and talk to the other people from the council that person belonged to, because they're in a specific building somewhere in Gracklestug, and they tend to move around a lot because they're little sneaky bastard Derro. And everyone went, let's go talk to the stone giants instead.
But you're really ill.
And I'm
going to be a were-rat.
You're slowly feverishly turning into a were-rat, and I'm dying of grackle lung.
Okay, so that's why we went to the stone giants, because they might have a hocus pocus person who can fix us.
Yeah. We've asked about that so far, and they haven't been particularly forthcoming with help.
Okay.
We've also regaled a stone giant with the story of how we violently murdered their brother in the middle of Gracklestug because he'd grown an extra head.
We also there was a fortune or a prophecy, wasn't there?
I don't remember that bit.
There was something.
Oh,
I think the giant claimed to have met some of you before.
Yep.
In the past.
He did also reel off a big prophecy thing that my fucking first gear, very slow brain couldn't process in time.
And we then have a crystal. Is it the stone speaker crystal?
You do. The stonekeeper Hagram, after speaking to you for some time, said that he recognised some of you and that some of you were missing. and said that you would need this crystal at some point in the future, but didn't say much more than that.
Okay.
Spooky.
And I think it was at that point, as you were leaving, you came across Danny's character, who had been sent by Captain Erda Blackskull.
I listened to the ground at some point. Why did I listen to the ground?
Why did you listen to the ground? You
There was
did hear
something-
some strange...
Chanting. There was chanting, yeah?
Yeah. Well remembered. I wasn't going to remind you in case you'd forgotten.
Haha. See, this is why I ask questions, because then I will remember. If I just listen, I won't engage. And so what was it? So there was chanting. I can't remember if it was coming from like the ground underneath us or whether it was generally travelling from the surrounding area. What were they chanting? I do not know.
It was in the stone, but you couldn't understand any of the words.
Okay.
It was just very faint, very distant.
But the only time we've come into contact with chanting like that before was in the Hook Horror Lair, wasn't it?
The gnolls.
Yes, that was Knowles chanting Yanigu. Or Yinogu, who is
So we're
also
not-
known as the Butcher.
And we're not too
As in-
far from there, are we?
Pretty far from the
well-
Hook Horror Lair.
The Hook Horror Lair, yeah, you're quite far from.
Oh, was that before Slubly Do?
Before, yeah.
Okay.
You could probably get back there if you wanted.
No, thanks.
So I think that was about it. So you find yourselves stood outside of this huge cave mouth after speaking with the stone giants, with this new grey dwarf companion who's been sent to aid you. Bit vague, but what would you like to do next?
It would be very nice if we could either find someone who can make me stop coughing up black torpor, or we go and talk to that council of weird Derro.
I believe the stones say, because it's only fair to tell you actually, because you would remember it was only a few minutes ago for your character, that if you go underneath the city, the air is a lot cleaner.
I'd love to go underneath the city. Unfortunately, I'm going to be eaten in a few hours if we don't do anything.
Would the Crumclun know about anything about how to get rid of what he's got, or at least ease these symptoms or his coughing?
Yeah, you would know that visitors to the city, non-Dwegar, often get these coughs, and it's just the nature of a city that is, with 1,000 forges firing all day long every day. It is just pollution, and unfortunately they're just a bit weak. These outsiders, they're a bit weak. Their lungs are a bit rubbish. The only thing that really seems to make it better is just to get out of town for a bit.
Yeah, so I'll go to him. You look ill. You need to get out of town. Make better.
It's probably not the best look right about now.
Yes, you're weak. You need out of town.
I mean, more leaving town probably isn't the best of looks right now.
Oh?
considering I'll be eaten by a dragon in less than 2 days. We don't prove the fellow who we killed is up to something nefarious.
If you stay, you may die as well.
Right, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
We're a really hopeful bunch. Would Malice think that grackle lung, like, would it be a disease? Like
You
it's just
can make a medicine check.
general illness kind of thing.
Yeah, make a medicine check. I should say, Malice, that you're still quite feverish.
But at least I think I know what I'm dealing with. Whereas, 16.
16. Okay. Yeah, you would have seen this before as a cleric. You would have seen people that work in dirty, smoky places often get bad coughs. They can bring up, mucus with black dust in it. It can be quite harmful to the health over long periods of time. The only real, this seems particularly bad. It is worse than you've seen back in Benzobransson, where you're from, but he probably needs a holiday on a beach somewhere with nice fresh air. Good for you. Give him time to cough it all up.
Do I think that lesser restoration would be useful? So it's you touch a creature and can either end one disease or one condition. So I know it's not the conditions because that'd just be blinded, deafened, paralysed or poisoned. But could this be a disease?
Technically it's not a disease in the traditional sense of the word, but it might work. You're not sure. This is more about foreign crap in his lungs, effectively. You suspect it's not a disease in a contagious sense. It's not something that's catching. It's just...
It's not worth a second level spell slot when I only have first and second level spells.
Maybe not, but
No.
That's up to you. Jim, you're on 2 levels of exhaustion, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
So you would know that when you get to, is it 6?
6 is death.
Yeah,
6 is death. So, yeah. So at 2, your speed is halved. So you would notice he's struggling to walk now. He's walking half the speed of everyone else. When you get to 3, you get disadvantage on attack rolls, saving throws. At 4, your hit points get halved. At 5, your speed is reduced to 0. So when he gets to 5, you'd have to carry him out anyway.
What?
It's not good.
And when I get to 4, my hit point total will be 12.
We're screwed.
We'll be fine.
No, we're screwed.
We'll be fine.
So he is getting worse.
He's definitely worse than he was yesterday. Yeah.
I'll try it then. I think Malice would be concerned at this point, and if he's kind of hobbling along, she'll just Droden, 1 second. She'll reach out and she'll just kind of straighten out your collar and just like dust you off a bit, and in doing so she will, if I've got all the components, I don't need components, brilliant, I'll then cast lesser restoration,
Okay.
and hope it does something.
Okay. You cast the spell, and at first you don't see anything happening, and Rodin's sort of slowly stumbling along. He takes in a breath and does this big cough, and you just see this black cloud of dust just expelled out of his mouth. It's horrendous. It's just like just like this huge puff of black smoke, and you do feel better. Your lungs feel better, but you're still exhausted.
Like 2 levels of exhaustion.
He's still got 2
exhausted,
levels. He has still got 2 levels of exhaustion, yeah, but
Fuck.
because he needs to rest.
But it's done something.
Oh yeah, he can breathe a lot more easily now.
Okay.
I don't think lesser restoration does exhaustion, does it?
No, it's
No.
just disease
No,
or
that's greater, I think.
yeah. But at least if we've got rid of what's causing it, then when he sleeps, it should actually have an effect.
Yes.
Okay. And I believe Bee is here somewhere.
She's hiding somewhere.
Hello.
Okay.
How's it
We've
going,
solved
V? We'll do your sound check when you're back. Okay.
Here, what do you want me to do?
Just say something.
Say something.
Very quiet. And I can't boost you anymore. You're on 200%.
It's this. It's. This is the good microphone. I don't know.
Okay. That's closer.
So I have to shout into it.
Okay, say something.
No.
That's really quiet. How far away is the mic?
2 inches.
You're definitely using the mic and not your built-in mic.
Let me check.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, sorry. So,
There's the mic.
okay, as high as it'll go. You're a little bit underneath everyone else, but there's not much I can do. Okay, what would you like to do?
Well, I suppose we should go to that Council of Savants, wherever they are. Just to ignore the large, dusty black cloud I just appear to have rather viciously coughed out. It's
It's better out than in.
It's incredibly disgusting.
We'll just think that was inside you.
Yes, that doesn't make it any less disgusting. Didn't even know my lungs had that much capacity. What's the name of our Derro friend again? Crumclum?
Crumclum.
Where are you supposed to be taking us?
You tell me.
Okay.
Crumclum guide.
Guide us where?
I'm the city.
Any particular parts of the city?
You tell me where you want to go.
We're looking for a cluster of Derro in the Dark Lake district somewhere.
Would Crumclum know where that is?
Yeah, it was the northwest.
Yeah. Yes, I know area. You follow me. And I
So
go
you
punching off.
would you would note down that the Derro have a council, that resides in the halls of Sacred Scrolls, which is in the northwest of the city. As you would know pretty much that there's about 36 Derro that sit on this council, and they all pretty much to a person reside in this place.
Yeah, I don't tell him any of that.
Okay.
But yeah, he'll head northwest to where the Sacred Scrolls Hall is.
Okay. So you march up, back through the city, and then once again you come to the huge Ladagur's Furrow, as it's called, this huge split rend right down the centre of the village with this of the city, with this sort of huge array of bridges zigzagging across. In fact, let me show you the image. Crumclun takes you via some of the top bridges right across the top, but as you walk over and look down, you can see the figures of Dwegar and Derro crossing the bridges at various heights. In the walls, you can see lots of caves with flickering lights shining from within. People just going about their business, moving about their homes. And you cross over that and head up through a part of the city you haven't seen before. As you come closer to the Dark Lake, you see out in the water this strange sort of broken stalagmite growing out of the lake, and it seems to be shattered and broken with the top missing, but you can see this weird intricate wooden walkway sort of traversing across the water and into this spire, and from what you can hear, even from here, you can hear the sort of sound of laughter and general merriment. It sounds very much like a tavern. So yeah, and as you approach the Hall of Sacred Scrolls, I don't even know what it looks like. I should have been prepared for that, shouldn't I? Like a lot of the buildings in Grackelstug, it's not particularly beautiful. There's no real thought or care gone into the design. It is functional and not a lot else. It's square and squat. Even though it's 3 stories high, to a human it probably looks more like 2 stories, just because the ceilings are clearly not that high inside. Outside, you see a number of Derro. They're stood with these weird spears with hooks on the end, and they're just sort of milling around outside. It looks like they're having a conversation, but as you approach, you can kind of see that these 3 Derro are just talking to themselves whilst in company. There's no conversation going on. One of them sort of talking about, oh yeah, last week I found 4 boots on my fishing trip, which is brilliant because that's boots for me and my wife, and the other one's just like, I'm going to have fish for dinner later. They're just like, it's a conversation, but they're not involving each other. It's really odd. And as you approach the door, they kind of notice you, but they just carry on talking to themselves.
Watching my entire family having a conversation.
What would you like to do?
So what exactly do we need to find out here?
I was going to mention this earlier. Do we even know the name of the fellow we accidentally, me and Tink accidentally killed?
I don't think so.
No.
Think
If
we ever
it
got
was
told?
said, I didn't write it down. No, I think they just mentioned that he seemed to be a savant.
Yes. I don't recall hearing a name. My investigative skills seem to have gone down quite considerably since I left Menzo Baranzan. So I suppose our first order of business is to find out who hasn't come back from any of their little sojourns, who's maybe unaccounted for, and then go and pick through their quarters, see if we can find anything, and hope that we're going through the correct ones. But presumably, there's not going to be too many of them missing.
Oh, go ahead then.
I'll awkwardly lumber over towards the door, and I'll just kind of push my way inside, try and get through the door, if it's even unlocked.
Okay, as you go to push the door, these three Derro suddenly seem to pay attention to you out of nowhere, and they all move within striking distance of these hooked spears.
What's your business, Drow?
We're investigating a member of the council who appears to have fortunately passed away recently.
Okay, you've got no jurisdiction here.
We're
What?
here with the...
We only wish to have an audience with the council, just to pay our respects, to see if
What,
there's
all
anything we can
36
do
of
to
them?
help. Well, anyone who may be willing to meet with us.
That's a bit entitled, isn't it? 36. You want to meet with 36 people. It's so important. You need all 36.
Yes,
I mean,
actually.
I mean, like, might be like 5 in, maybe more. But
Then bring us the
36.
5 or whoever else is available, because
I don't
we've
answer
had a
to
very
you.
long day. We have come here to be helpful. So please, may we just have an audience with the council members that are here, available and willing. Pretty please.
Well, seeing as you asked nicely, I'll, you know what? I do like a bit of whitefish. Don't you think? Whitefish is, like, it's the best one. It's not too fishy fish, but it's quite delicate. Yeah. On your way.
A strange person.
We're quite happy to wait here until you have talked to the council members to inquire as to our request. And personally,
Whitefish.
I prefer spider flesh. It's not fishy at all.
No, it's not. It can be a bit hairy. You have to burn it. Otherwise you get all the hairs. Tickle your throat, make you cough.
Oh, you crack the spider legs and then just suck out all the... It's like eating shellfish.
So it's alright for you la-di-da rich drow who can afford not to eat everything.
I mean,
I
it's
believe
it's
you
a-
have some preconceived notions that are not quite correct, but we can remedy that at a later time. Could you please now go get any council members who are here, willing and available
roll a persuasion check for me.
Can I add intimidation to that because she is getting pissy?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see which one is better. I think they're the same, but do I have a weird persuasion-y thing? Or intimidation?
You have
I've
proficiency
got
with
proficiency.
intimidation.
What does that even mean?
If it's got a tick in it, it'll be the right roll. It's +2 for you at this level, whatever it is,
Okay.
level 4.
They're about the same, so we'll just go with that. I did not do well. 7.
Like, you can't scare me with wearing faces and stuff. Most of my best friends wear faces. And yours ain't even got no skin on it. Jog on. Just in case you don't speak like proper undercommon and that. Jog on. Jog is like to not
We know
quite
what-
run, but not
We
quite
know what
walk.
that, we know what
and
it means.
It means to sod off.
Can Tink just have a full-on crying tantrum?
Sure.
Please, please, we really need to see them. You don't understand. And I don't know if we can tell you because it's police business, but we really need to see a council member.
Roll a persuasion for me.
Sorry, I haven't got my sheet open.
Your mic sounds good now.
I put it. I'm kissing it.
Mm,
We're making out. It's sexy.
kind of
Sorry, you
sensual.
can't see it.
That's why your tones sound so dulcet.
Could I do a deception?
Yeah. Yeah, I assume you're not crying for real.
Oh,
That's okay.
All right, calm down. You'll be like upsetting the whales and that. They're very sensitive to that kind of song. Wait there. I'll be right back. With some whitefish.
And he turns and jogs off through the door. Leaves you for a couple of minutes. Unless you have any conversations while they're gone, we'll just fast forward to...
you'll just notice that the minute he goes, Tink rubs her eyes and it's like, see? Easy. And then he comes back and she goes back into... She turns it off and on.
Right. Stop crying then. Don't want to upset the whales. There's a couple in. I've been told to take you into the waiting room and to ask what business it is on. I think it was something to do with fish or spiders. Yeah. So can spider legs out or something?
No.
I did say, but they looked a bit confused.
Deceased council members, or what may be a council member. You do care about your dead, do you not?
I do. Right. Who's dead?
That is what we are here to find out.
Right. Okay. Right, this way then, please.
And he starts walking into the hall. The other two, Derro just seem disengaged. One of them's talking about fishing for boots again. As you wander in, a bit like the outside, the inside of this is actually decorated, and actually there's almost some artistry gone into it, but it's this confused muddle. It's almost like 300 artists have all put their craziest, wildest ideas and carved them onto the walls and painted them and done tapestries, and it's just this confusing muddle. When you look at each piece individually, it's quite beautiful and almost an amazing piece of art, but together it's really overwhelming. There's no coherence or structure. It is just like 100 artists have vomited their imagination all over the wall. As you walk down the corridor, you see it split off into two. They take you off to the right, and there's a large stone wall with a number of seats on each side of the room.
Right, if you just sit there, I'll be right back with the fish.
We don't want any bloody fish.
Conklin wants.
Oh, well, he wants a fish, apparently.
Okay, yeah, I'll be back with a fish. I think someone will come and see you shortly, but not with fish. I will bring the fish. They will just bring themselves. Goodbye.
He kind of turns and waddles off. Are you sitting, standing, just...
Rodin would probably sit down and put his head in his hands. Just sit there for a moment and go, I hate this place.
Malice is going to try and stay standing, but she's also got a fever and not feeling well, so she's leaning against the wall, just...
Horse, yeah.
breathing.
Yeah, Conklin will just lie on the floor.
Oh,
You wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and after about 20 minutes, the little Derro comes back with 2 plates in each hand. One has got this lovely white, fluffy, cooked fillet of fish, and the other plate's got a raw fish on it.
I think they'll be with you soon. Here, as promised, is the fish. I hope it will be to your satisfaction. I will. There's vinegar there, if you like that kind of thing, and there's some like pickled mushroom relish. The raw fish is quite safe to eat. It was caught. Well, it might not be safe to eat. Safe for me to eat, but feel free to try it.
Conklin's already ate it.
Yeah, he just puts it on the floor and then just toddles off towards the exit again. You wait another 10 minutes. Anyone that wants to eat the fish, you can.
Yeah, Conklin will eat the raw fish. A bit of vinegar.
If there's some of the raw fish left over, Malice will add a little bit to her bag.
Okay. Oh, that bag must really hum now.
No, she empties it out. So she's where she made that little pen for stool on the ship. She's now trying to turn that into a little mushroom garden, so you can eat the mushrooms. So it gets emptied out into that pen when she goes back. So it shouldn't be as bad as it was getting.
Okay.
It's still horrible. It's still a bag of decomp.
It's a weird hobby.
I
It's a weird hobby.
imagine you could probably start a brand with the fragrances you've created, like Rot by Malice.
Decomp. Oh.
So you wait and wait and wait, and it's getting. You kind of think, are they messing you around here? It's just getting ridiculous. And then finally, you see a little Derro come round the corner. She is probably about 2.5 foot tall. Grey skin, completely white eyes, like a lot of the Derro. There's a pupil, but it's kind of barely visible. It almost looks like she's blind, but she clearly can see, like all of the Derro. Her hair is white, but it is like it's been. You use something to make it stick upright, and the hair is probably another foot high, and then it's got stripes of red and blue and pink and green and all these colours just put through it. She sees you. and wanders up. You see as she approaches, she's wearing quite well-made leather armor. She's got a number of little vials on her belt, and two scabbards, one of which is a short sword and one of which is a dagger. And she approaches.
I'm Alinka. And who might you be?
Was that a
What-
linger?
Alinka. Yes. What brings you here?
Well, I'm Drodin, and this is Malice, Tink, and Crumclunk. Whatever he said. And we're here investigating a Derro apparently on the council who recently passed away in an accident.
And this Derro would be...
We don't know their name.
I will describe the height of him and the quality of his clothing. 'Cause it was fancy but old, wasn't it? Not well kept.
Packing. A lot of fake gems or something stitched into his clothes.
Yeah, but it's not the same as the messenger, because the messenger had dodgy clothing, and I think that's why there was some confusion.
Is he carrying that statue with two heads?
Yes, I
Odin.
think he was.
Can we hold that up and say he was holding this?
I don't recognize that. It's not very artistic. So, you're describing Uskville? So how did Uskville die?
He fell off a building, believe it or not.
He fell off a building. What was he doing on a building? He's,
Fleeing from authorities is what he was doing.
well, he was investigating. No. He was investigating on my behalf the rumors of thieves beneath the city, undermining law and order. I don't understand why he was on a building.
Because he had snuck into a Durgar prison facility and was discovered watching an interrogation that was intended to be secretive.
Involving the soul blades? If they mean anything to you?
No.
Insight check.
I was
Can
about
I
to say insight check as
yeah.
well. We all
Yeah.
want to. We were. That pause was
course you can.
problematic.
Yeah, absolutely.
May have just been the GM reading his notes.
I'm really hoping if we get into a fight, I
Okay.
roll better than I have been so far.
Okay. Pink, Malice. She thought about it for a second, but there wasn't any recognition. Rodin, you suspect she's heard of them? but you didn't get a guilty. You didn't get a guilty sort of sense from her.
Well,
So you killed him then?
well, why would you assume we killed him?
I don't think that Dragar would be foolish enough to kill Council of Savant member, even if he was in the hold.
I wouldn't think a council member would be foolish enough to attempt to spy and then attempt to flee.
In a city where everyone can turn invisible, spying is really not considered that big a deal.
Oh, you might want to speak to the king about that. I think it is a big deal. Now.
Is it? I don't really pay a lot of attention to what the king says here. He doesn't care about the Derro, but I do. And the council does. We have it difficult. We have it hard. They don't appreciate our unique perspective, our unique skill set. They see us as vermin and trouble and chaotic and, well, we are, but that's beside the point. We are effective and we are talented and we are inspired and all of these wonderful things. And the grey dwarves ignore us. So we ignore them as much as we can.
Afraid you can't ignore the laws of the city when a member of the Derro breaks them within the city, so that is why we're investigating.
Which law did he break?
The spying one.
Is there a spying law now?
Yes.
Deception.
Yes, there fucking is.
How unfortunate. How unfortunate for Uskville. Well, how can I help? Can I help?
I think it would be helpful for us to learn whatever else we can about this person and their connections. Maybe have a look at their abode if they had one here. Particularly this statue is of interest. It potentially links him to a wider conspiracy that we're investigating. Did you feel he was a loyal member of your council or could have been involved in other circles?
Bill was a leader of the same organization as myself. One of three. We do not believe in ruling with a single head, as the dwarves do. We have three in our organization, or it seems we have two now. I am the council's lead investigator. Uskville. I thought he was a skilled person at infiltrating intelligence and uncovering information. It seems he, could you tell me how it happened?
How, which part of it happened?
Well, how you came to find Uskville,
You don't need to know how we found him.
I think I do. If you want any more information, I think I do.
We used magic.
So you cast a see invisibility spell upon him.
We managed to detect his presence, and then when he noticed that we noticed, he attempted to cast a spell on my friend here, and that's when he became visible for all, attempted to flee, and in our attempt to stop him fleeing, he fell because he decided to climb a roof.
Okay. Sounds appropriate. I'm just curious how you saw him. I suspect the magical energies are interfering again with how magic works. Our invisibility is usually undetectable, even by those with skills in, such things as you do.
Maybe to a certain extent he was just unlucky.
It seems that way. What more can I help you with, or is that everything?
Was that all he was investigating? The underground criminal ring you spoke of?
Yes. Thieves. All across the city, I'm sure you've noticed, crime rate is up.
Thieves of
Mm.
what in particular? Why do you
Of
think that they
everything.
are? Why do you think they are organised?
Well, it's not so much that they're organised, it's more that they're unsanctioned.
Are there sanctioned criminals in Gracklestug?
Of course.
Who would you expect to normally sanction them?
Me. And Uskville.
Are you running some sort of thieves
Crime
guild?
racket.
Openly?
We keep the crime rate low. By making
Right.
sure that crime is very targeted.
Thinking about no, can't measure it. Doesn't matter. Ignore me.
Now I really want to know.
It was about the language. Why were they talking about whitefish? Why were they talking about boots? Is it part of?
Is it like thieves can?
Yeah, but I'm not.
Oh, no, that's fine if you want to.
Just
No,
so
that's fine.
I'm trying to think of how much Malice might know about that. So she might not know it's thieves' cant, but I think she'd be smart enough to know that they'd be trying to communicate somehow. Would she now be able to think back over what she heard and think that there might be a pattern to it? Can she identify it as a lexicon even if she doesn't know exactly what it was?
You can roll. I'll let you roll to try and figure it out. What would that be? Probably wisdom or something similar.
Said intelligence.
Insight or
Insight? Insight maybe might give you an idea, but
yeah, she's not trying to figure out what they were saying. She's just trying to piece together some puzzle pieces.
yes. Okay.
It's so weird having this discussion, trying to work everything out, and Matt's got the Derro voice mark on the whole time.
Sorry.
So, 13. I'm really not rolling well
13.
today.
It's okay.
You're really struggling to figure out if there's some sort of secret language going on, because they didn't seem to be talking to each other, or whether they're just a bit strange.
But I'm also aware that they can be invisible. So they could very easily be talking to an invisible person.
Maybe.
So it could be signals, it could be... Okay, well that's what I'm going with anyway. It might be wrong, especially with that roll, but it could be right. Whitefish. Writing it down.
You're going to come back to that in like fucking 6 weeks' time and go, what the fuck is whitefish?
It's going to be chairs and doors. It's going to be chairs, it's going to be doors.
Maybe it's a play on swordfish.
It's the password! Seriously, if we get to a door at some point, and there's like little symbols on it, and there's one that's a whitefish, you know that is the first one we are pressing.
There wasn't, but there is now.
There you go.
And there will be, but it will be later on down the line. We'll have forgotten about this. And a week after it happens, I'll be at work. I'll just start screaming because it'll click in my head.
You'll figure it out.
Too late, probably. Let's write down Thieves' Camp next to it with a question mark.
It's funny that you say you were investigating this criminal ring, because we were also investigating who we believe to be a messenger for this criminal ring, who was themselves a Derro. Do you know anything of them?
Messenger.
I will then give the description of the messenger Derro, which was under 3 foot, dresses in cheap finery, has a mustache, beard, and sideburns. Quite often spends time in the foreign quarter, or at least that is where they've been witnessed, and in the West District.
Well, we have many messengers, as I'm sure you can appreciate. But that does sound like Drocky. I can assure you, he works for us. He is above reproach. He's very reliable. He always delivers. He never steals. He is very prompt, very timely. Yes, I don't know why you would want him.
He may have just been a witness to something, that is all.
Okay.
Bow? Would we be able to talk with him?
He's out working. I'm not sure I want you to talk. Not sure I want you to talk to him.
Well, if a few, as you say, is of good character and innocent and of any criminal activity, then we'd like to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Is this going to take much longer? You hear that horn? Oh, twice. Okay, that's particularly bad. So that I'm sure you're aware of what that horn means. So I need to get word out. Can we call this a day? I'm not going to give you my messenger. He's working.
What?
He's out in the city.
What exactly does that horn mean?
The magical energies are seeping up from the ground, so it means that any kind of magical abilities might function differently. It's a general warning for the city, so you do look like magic users. Just be cautious.
Well, that's very interesting to know, because I'm about to detect thoughts.
And with whatever the hell's going on with Rodent at this point, as he goes a bit bug-eyed,
Yeah.
do you...
Well, as she says that, you notice, like, around the ground, this little flickering white and blue light, just sort of, it's almost like it's coming ethereal, coming up through the ground like a mist, and it's just flickering around and dancing.
Do you happen to know of any higher level clerics or priests by chance?
Why?
What do you
Honestly-
need a cleric for? You do look a bit sweaty.
Yes, unfortunately I've become quite unwell, and I was just hoping.
I can't
I'm-
smell. You don't smell though. Your bag. You'll be glad to hear your bag is completely covering the stench of your sweatiness. It's a genius move.
It does work very well, but unfortunately, I do worry that if I get any worse, this could be quite a problem, and would much appreciate if you have any recommendations of anyone that I could see
I-
regarding this matter.
I may be able to find a scroll, or you could talk to the clerics that look after Timberchild. Their magic isn't necessarily holy, but it is in effect the same thing. Or you could indeed go and talk to the clerics. You know, Dragar. They do follow the gods, obviously, when they're not working. They do have priests. Scoreus, Stonebones is probably who you need.
What was that?
Scoreus.
Scoreus.
Stonebones.
Okay, and now I'll let Jim go back to his detect thoughts.
Yeah, as they're waddling off, I would actually like them to make the DC 14 wisdom save, please.
Okay.
Roll a religion check for me, Hazel, by the way. DC 14. Okay, yeah, Scoreus
Ow.
Stonebone sounds familiar, but you can't remember why.
Okay.
Oh.
I can't roll well.
No.
I thought that was their wisdom save, and I was about to be like, oh yeah, tell me everything. Shit. Well, I'll get surface thoughts at least.
Yeah, but she'll know that you were trying to do that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's very rude.
Well, you are also quite rude.
You're in my house, Drow. If you don't like it, you know where the door is.
And she's like,
Did you get anything?
Only surface thoughts.
Well, I can tell you that
as you start listening to the surface thoughts, she's just thinking that you're rude, disrespectful, that she should probably just fireball you. It's quite open. In fact, it's almost like she's letting you see it. It's more than you would expect. She is annoyed that you've killed one of hers.
Would
She's
this?
thinking, yeah.
I was just gonna say, would this funky magical energy have done anything to detect thoughts?
Roll a d100, please.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
He didn't want the thoughts, he wanted the chaos.
I wanted both in equal measure. I probably wanted the chaos more, to be honest. Got a flat 20.
20. Okay. You cast the detect thoughts, and as you're like trying to listen, you realise she's just put this wall up. You get the feeling she's not massively wise, but she's like really stubborn and resistant in this weird way. And as you kind of like relax and get a little bit frustrated that you haven't got what you wanted out of it, you realise you don't just seem to have cast detect thoughts. You also seem to have cast a grease spell centered on yourself, and the floor is incredibly slick and greasy. I shall post it just so you know. So 10-foot square around you. Got to make a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
Fuck's sake, I don't even know how to cast this damn spell. Oh, I'm on my ass.
Yeah, you just see Jordan cast his spell, and then he's like concentrating, trying to read her thoughts, and just goes on his bum.
Oh, sorry.
I did warn you. He is quite funny though, isn't he? You should get a slot in the Shattered Spire. I appreciate comedy in there.
I wouldn't want to take any performances away from your entourage.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Question for the DM.
Mm.
Yeah.
My notes say they are near the halls of sacred scrolls, and she just mentioned Havoc potentially procuring a scroll. Do we know, are they in control of that hall or just nearby?
It appears they're in control of the hall, but
Okay. Wait, before you go, would we be able to access the halls?
in fact, do you want to roll a religion check for me?
Oh, it's pointless, but yeah.
In fact, anyone can.
Oh, +2. Bleh.
I got it on a religion check of all fucking things.
Yeah. As you, I guess, Drodin figures it out. As you're stood pondering this place, you see a symbol, Drodin, on the wall, and it's a symbol of Dirinka, which is basically a Derro god. You would know with that role that Dirinka basically is a god of magic and knowledge, as well as a god of cruelty.
I
So,
will
yes.
telepathically convey that to Tink. So that I don't have to talk out loud and look like I'm...
You're busy getting yourself up off your ass, I assume.
Well, yeah, but maybe as I was falling on my ass, I noticed all these details.
That's why you noticed the symbol
Yeah.
on a stalactite, because you fell on your ass and saw it.
Oh, hey, it's that thing.
Why do you need access to our halls?
This is separate to being a matter of the guard. This is just as people who are obviously not from this town and have an interest in magic and the arcane and respect for Darinka. I can see their symbols here. It would just be something that we would like to be able to take a look at, if we may.
And what do we get out of it?
What would you like?
I'd like this investigation to stop right now.
You You understand how that looks incriminating, right?
Yes, but that's how things work. When crime is controlled, the crime rate is very low.
So the Stone Guard are aware that you manage all criminal activity.
We have a deal with them that will make sure it's low. We don't tell them how.
I see. Well, I've forgotten his name, the one that we killed, had he managed to find much information? Perhaps we could join forces in investigating this criminal ring.
Sadly, he was killed in an untimely murder, it seems. So I don't know what he knew.
Then he must have known something, because if you're saying he's not involved in the criminal ring, just investigating, then he must have found this somewhere. Again with the statue. You have no idea where he found this?
No. No, and sadly, unless you know how to talk to the dead, we never will.
Did he keep any notes? Did he have an abode here that we could look at?
You have his body, you tell me. And no, you can't go in his abode. I've let you this far. This is an honor that many do not get, especially with your Dragar friend there. I'm not going to help you anymore.
We'll have to find out that he's innocent on our own, and then we can stop the investigation and come back and have a look at your halls.
I would be delighted. When you find him innocent, yes, I'll give you 2 hours in our library. Supervised, of course.
Deal. This is a terrible deal.
I'll show you to the door. Do you like our mural?
She starts shuffling you towards the door. She's only 2.5 foot tall, a foot of hair. She's quite small.
So, if yes, please enjoy the mural on the way out. If you would make sure his body is delivered to us, we would like to perform the proper rites.
Of course we will.
Take a look at the mural, see if there's anything. You said it was like a vomit of ideas, but if we take a good look now they've invited us to, is there any sort of story, repeated images?
Sure. Yeah. Roll investigation or perception. Happy for either.
Come on, what's going on tonight, dice gods?
I'm gonna have a nose too if everyone else is.
Yeah. You try and get up and then go straight back on your ass. It's really hard to discern any kind of structure to this. Malice, you're pretty sure it's just lots and lots of different artists just attacking a piece of wall with whatever their chosen art form is. But you do, as you're about to give up, you see this little sketch of a Derro with this massive fancy hat, a frock coat, very dapper, massive moustache, beard, sideburns.
It's Rocky!
With a satchel, and in his hand he is holding. Well, it looks like a bit of parchment, but as you look closer, it looks like fish skin.
Like the fish skin that I've had at a restaurant where they make it into like crisps or like
He's holding a snack.
or leathery parchment-y fish skin.
Like
Well,
licorice.
it's a sketch, so you decide. But
Well,
yeah, he's holding it in his hands.
as he put into his hand into a packet and he's like halfway into his mouth, or
No, he's not eating it. He's holding it. He's holding it with two hands.
okay.
Like the fish skin rolls that had the Soul Blades murder sketches on them.
Hmm.
We know that
Exactly.
Derro was delivering bounties, though. So anyway, don't say that out loud.
No.
Can't remember her name. When was this mural made?
It's always being made. It's never really finished. We get to the end and we go back to the start and paint it all over again. So, been made as long as I remember, and it will be made as long as we are here.
I can respect that to some degree, actually. It's like a continuous record of your history, even though you're wiping out the history that came before.
Well, if you knew what happened to us before, then you would want to wipe it out too. So yes. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure, but it hasn't. And she gets her hand and goes, licks it, and then holds it out to shake.
Malice will, like, if she can be behind some of the others for a second. I don't know how stealthy she can be. We'll quickly just 1 second. Is Drodin still on the floor?
No, he's managed to get off the greasy patch and like eventually get on his feet.
Oh, okay. So I was just thinking like dirt will help soak that up, but I'll just reach in, get into my bag, get my hand all nice and decompy, and then we'll reach out and shake her hand with my decomp hand.
I like your style.
And she shakes it and then goes again and holds it out for the next person.
Yes.
I will take a finger.
She's only about a foot taller than you. She's quite small as well.
Okay, I'll take 2 fingers. don't clip that.
And then she'll lick her hand again, like the whole hand, and you'll see like black.
You need the
and
lubrication.
crap on her tongue. Yeah, on a tongue from whatever was on Malice's hand, and she holds
Very
it out
considerate.
for
Wait, I was going to say, I'm sorry for my colleagues. They're not the most diplomatic creatures, and apologies for the grease as well. I hope perhaps when we meet again we could do this differently. Meet in better circumstances.
If you can get the dwarves to treat us better, then I'm sure we could become friends. I'm sure.
Well, if they
But
can
I don't
accept
think-
these drow, perhaps we can get them to do that.
I don't hold much hope. But I like your optimism.
And I will wipe my hand on my clothes.
She looks horrified.
Well, that's bad luck.
Oh,
Joe, carry on.
I didn't know. Oh, gosh. We have much to learn.
No problem.
And Trojan will retch up some grackle lung and spit it into his hand.
What's wrong with you people?
Hey, we are just like do as the Romans do.
Yeah, she'll shake your hand.
When we do finally get to leave, Malice will quickly just turn to her, bow slightly, and just say, I do hope your dead are at peace. In kind of a, I'm aware we fucked up, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to make a big point of it, so...
Oh, by the way, have you ever heard of a guy called Bapido?
Did I have?
He's just a Derro we met a while ago. He was absolutely batshit insane.
That's offensive to my people. To
What
say
then?
that.
No, he was.
He believes himself to be a god.
Yeah, he killed a companion that we had saved and
How,
wrote in
how
blood
do you know?
everywhere.
How do you know he's not one?
I've met enough.
Have you?
What?
Malice is not going to look at either of those two.
Actually, I can see that you've met 4.
Oh,
Good day.
And she turns and wanders off.
Crunkle's
Hazel's
just there
making
with
a list.
stand out.
She doesn't shake it. Then, as she starts walking away, it's almost like she realizes she's forgotten something. Turns around.
And I'm so sorry. How rude. And she just holds up a middle finger to Crunklen.
I'm gonna do a little finger as well, like a little pinky.
She'll basically go, and then turn and yeah.
Do you know what? I quite liked her.
Felt like you were all going out of your way to piss them off.
I may have been trying to cut a corner that didn't work. Unfortunately.
We don't know yet who is a useful ally or enemy. I would tread more carefully.
Well, let us get out of here and a bit away and come up with our next plan. I feel that I might need to return to the stone giants, though.
What for?
She mentioned this Scoraeus stone bones, and so far, stone seems to be a familial prefix for the surnames of the stone giants. I'm wondering if I'll be able to find them there. Other than that, we could attempt to talk to the keepers of Timberchard. What else could we do? What are our other options?
I'd like to speak to the captain about this deal they have with the Derro. I'm surprised they didn't tell us of it.
Dan, you would know that you wouldn't be aware of any such deal.
Yeah, I'll say that then.
It concerns me then that if the deal is not well known, if we talk about it too widely or to the wrong person, we might attract attention that we do not want to be attracting in our current situation.
To an extent, proven that the captain is our ally in this. I think we could ask them. I'm just confused about if they're running a criminal ring, which is probably why we're investigating that messenger Derro, or, well, want to catch them. There's another criminal ring?
Well, you'll find that most cities will have multiple forms of criminality situated within them. And there'll be a few higher up as well. The king is obviously problematic, and there'll be those within his guard and his advisors. It's at every level of society, even in the best of societies.
How do we infiltrate? That Derro was so unwilling to speak with us. And if that's the first layer of criminality, then how on earth are we meant to get below the surface?
Well, I do believe it's normally a matter of respect. I'm not sure we have yet come across a situation in which we can earn that respect at this point. Unless you want to train as a soul blade.
Well, how would we even approach them about that? Who is them? Where are them?
It could be worth then talking to this Drocky fellow. If he is the one who is giving bounties, he will know where the bounties come from.
I think the bounties come from her.
Might be more than that. You know, where do they come from? Where do they go?
No, Joe.
I didn't mean to. I started, and then my brain went, "Oh no."
Almost as good as between a rock and a hard place.
Then we'll have to find him, which seems to be the first problem. The problem that the guard currently have. What about... Sorry, go on.
The other person that might be of interest if you do want to infiltrate the, should we call it the criminal underground? It's quite funny since we're already underground. Would maybe be Victor.
Really, he feels like his own agent.
But he's already had connections to multiple nefarious aspects of this society, has he not? Whether it is the teeth of the soul blades or just generally being a bastard from the sounds of it.
He's also currently residing in a library that I didn't even believe existed until a few hours ago. That the Stone Giants told us we won't see for some time. So he may be beyond reach. However, we have heard about a corrupt sergeant extorting people for magic items. So
Yes.
One of the eastern gates.
Yes.
We could... Oh. What would we tell them, though? That we potentially want to sell this weird rock? Waz already said there was someone looking for it, so maybe not that. Do we have anything else?
My cloak of billowing. I mean, it's not a particularly useful item, but it could be quite distracting for anyone who's particularly vain.
We could lead with that. It doesn't feel particularly nefarious.
He's a nefarious fellow, but he's only after magical items. Didn't say they had to be nefarious magical items. Arcane items can be of value to anyone if you find the right person.
But if we may not be. This is just an idea. If we're dropping using the guard as in the guard investigation as our main purpose for looking into them, and instead approaching with the idea that we are interested in some sort of criminal activity ourselves. What is our ultimate goal? Why do we want to? What would we say? can say, here's a cloak of billowing if you tell us where they are. Why do you want to know where they are? Because we want to arrest them. Won't
Well,
work.
I'd like to not get eaten by a dragon, personally.
Well, we are, in fact,
Criminals.
running from the law, yes. We could just tell them the truth, and if there are drow in the city looking for us, then it would not be so completely unbelievable.
Feels very risky. What if the drow have already reached out to them?
Odin is immediately going to turn to Cronclunk and be like, ignore everything we're saying out loud right now. But, yes,
Whatever we do, any involvement with any criminal activity in a city as lawful as this is going to be highly risky. The other thing that we can do is we just leave and we don't look back.
Well, that doesn't work. I need to be able to potentially speak to Victor if he manages to return here without us getting to the library, which doesn't sound like what we're doing. And I admit I'm curious. There's a lot going on. I've never been in a city like this before. Actually, that's a lie. Waterdeep probably did function like this, but my guardian was quite shielding.
Just why are we so interested? Why are we getting involved in so much within the city? It's not really done anything for us, other than maybe murder Drodin. Is it actually going to do you any good to talk to Victor? Is it something that you do really want?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you hope to change by doing so?
I'll have knowledge of who I was, what he was intending to do if it went right.
Why does
How
that
he
matter?
did it.
That was a previous life. It is not you.
Well, me is interested. Whoever me is inquisitive.
there is also the concern of Victor has turned an ex-partner of mine into a monster.
That too.
And being able to quiz him on how to reverse that process would be quite helpful.
You both are so willing to open such Pandora boxes when it comes to this, aren't you?
I don't know who Pandora is, but I suppose so.
I'll accept that. It's an old mystic text. I wouldn't expect a person of your stature to be reading such things.
Read a lot of books, I'll have you know.
Yes, but not always the ones that matter. Now, what shall we actually do next?
You're gonna see Tink's eyes just sort of glaze over for a minute. Not like she's thinking, more like she's just somewhere else.
Or like she's fed up with us?
Potentially. Have any of you ever been to a place with... How do I describe it? A lot of forges that seem to be built into the city. So it's not just a singular forge, it looks like a machine.
Sounds familiar, Jim.
Pardon?
It sounds familiar.
Aye. I had to take my headphones off for a moment when a family member walked in, so I have no idea what's going on right now.
I went a bit glazed over and then randomly said, "Have any of you ever been to a city that's built like a forge?"
Yes, I suppose.
Where?
I've been to... Don't know if it'd be Blingdenstone or Gauntlgrim.
Gauntlgrim.
Gauntlgrim. Sounds more like Gauntlgrim.
That's the dwarf settlement?
Yes. Yes, it's the dwarf settlement.
Okay. How do I explain this? Either a bit of my other self, soul, I don't know, is feeling nostalgic. Or maybe she's trying to help. But I don't know how that's helpful.
Well, there's also a degree of business I have in Gauntlgrim, so I suppose that future plans align to some degree there. I'm sure in the future, when we have a moment, we can stop through and investigate your past self.
Yes, maybe. I'm just wondering if that's some sort of clue, like she's trying to speak to me. Equally, could not be. I thought I'd mention it.
It's always worth mentioning little tidbits here and there. You never know what's going to help in awkward and somewhat dire moments.
Okay, it's approaching about 7 o'clock in the evening. A lot of the forges are going out. As you stroll back through the city, talking about what you're going to do next, you're passing through the market. You see the stall owners lugging all of their wares down into the cellars, taking the canopies down, packing away. You see some of the fish sellers on the shore of the water, sort of selling the last of the wares. And as you do that, who's got the best passive perception?
Probably Malice.
I think it's Malice.
Not me.
Malice, you're sort of staring out to the water. You're feeling rough, and you as well. Sorry, Dan. You're staring out to the water, and you see one of the market stalls like skinning fish and dropping them on a pile next to the stall. And as you do, you see this little figure moving through the sort of depleting crowds. Small, big hat, satchel, beard, massive moustache and mutton chops. And he moves really quickly, and as he walks past the pile of fish skin, you see him just stick his hand in it, and then carries off, moving off through the crowd.
How far away is he?
He's probably about 120 feet away.
Can I start following? I want to close that space.
You can. How are you following? And that is what he looks like.
I'm not going to run because that would attract attention. But considering he's going at a bit of a speed, I'm just trying to keep an eye on him. 1 second. Let me just see if I can do a thing.
Sure. He's not running, but he's definitely like power walking. He's in a rush. You see him heading off towards the docks.
We were going the other way. Where are you going?
Follow me.
What's going on?
Okay, that doesn't work. Okay. So, sorry, was he going off towards the docks?
Well, so yeah.
Look out for a short man in a hat. It's heading
As she
towards
points
the
it out,
docks
you
a
can
moment
see him.
ago.
Ooh.
It could be worth us spreading out somewhat so that such a large group doesn't attract attention.
Malice says that you all see him walk past a stall with someone again skinning fish, selling fish, and there's a pile of fish skin next to the stall, and he just sticks his hand into the pile and then pulls it out and then moves on. Little skip, like quite
How far
happy
ahead?
skip.
How far ahead of us is he now?
Well, are you trying to catch up?
Yeah.
Are you
Like,
being
not full
stealthy?
running, but there's a...
No,
I wouldn't say full stealthy, because we're in the middle of a market and people walking shouldn't attract too much attention. But that's what I've also asked us to spread out a little bit so it's not a group.
Yeah. Now that I can see him, can I say to the others, keep an eye on me? And can I finally use my thing useful and go to maybe roof level and pursue from there, maybe a bit faster?
You're muted, Matthew.
We have
he's
lost Matthew. Oh no.
technical difficulties.
Shall we take this moment for a short interlude? I need to go get a drink, so should we take a short break?
Yeah, take a
We-
5-minute
he's
break.
back!
I am, but yeah, I don't know what happened. My voice changer crashed, so it killed the mic. Do you want to take 5 minutes?
I can wait until we've done the chase. That's not a problem. I was trying to buy you time in case there was a technical problem.
Yeah, he's moving quickly. He's very focused on what he's doing. As you get a little bit closer to him, he's starting moving towards the actual dock, the piers on the docks now. The fish sellers are gone. You can see that he's taking papers out of his bag, shoving them in the pile of fish skin, and then skipping on. And he goes past the last of the fish stalls and keeps going, heading straight towards the docks.
As we pass the vendors that he's shoved his fist into, that sounds wrong.
It's this pile of fish skin that he's shoving his fist into, just to me.
Not the vendor.
Okay.
Yeah, not the vendor. That would definitely be illegal.
Can Jordan take a moment to try and spot and potentially grab whatever he's like shoved into the pile of fish skins?
Or taken. That's the
Well,
issue.
Fish skin to write on. I'm not there. I'm on a roof.
Jordan's just going to flick through and see if he's either dumped or taken something.
Are you just going to walk up to the fish skin and this fish stall and just start going through his pile of rubbish?
Yeah, I make a show of being like, would you happen to know if fish skin's any good for transcribing literature onto? I've been looking into creating a bit more of a durable spell book that doesn't really rely on paper. I've been exploring fish skin as a potential alternative that may be waterproof.
It can be used as it can be used as parchment, but I'd rather you didn't go rummaging through that. I've got uses for it.
Well, what kind of things do you use your fish skin for? Drayden is still going to peek through and look at them.
Roll investigation then.
Make a look of, try and show off the concept that he's maybe looking at how cleanly the guy is cutting it, or how big the skins are.
As you're kind of talking to him, distracting him a little bit, you feel a piece of fish skin that feels dry and a bit more like very thin leather, and you manage to you get a hold of it. Your hand's still in the fish skin. What do you want to do?
You can use it for all sorts of purposes. It's quite good for bandages when dried.
Oh, I would never have thought of using it as bandages.
You have to cure it to make sure it's safe, but yes, bandages, but it can be used for paper with a very simple treatment, a couple of hours.
I'm going to use prestidigitation to... Wait, hold on. Let me double check. No, it doesn't work the way I thought it would. I'm going to use dancing lights, and they're going to... in fact, I'm going to use Irvi, who is still there. Irvi is just going to start flying around and then headbutting into the vendor, and just fly around and start trying to make off with some of the things he has in the back of his store.
Your moth is trying to steal fish.
Well, it's just landing and looking for anything that might be small enough that it can carry, and just trying to make off with anything.
As the moth lands, you see the Dwergar draw a short sword. He's distracted.
Well, I'm going to telepathically be like, I am very sorry, but this might be incredibly useful, and he's going to let Irvi potentially take that hit if it means he can get that cluster of dried leather out of that sack.
Okay. But yeah, the Dwergar moves forward with the short sword. Ignore that it says Warpick.
I'm going to pull up Irvi's sheet.
And miss it.
That's a miss. He's going to
The moth sort of flutters and flutters out of the way and goes up into the air.
And Trojan is going to decant that cluster of skin from his bag into his from the little box of fish skin into his little satchel, and then he's just going to. This is all very interesting things. I'll have to come back in a few days' time. I'm still recovering from a bit of sickness, so I should.
Haven't even got the lantern on.
Yeah, fucking large creature, wasn't it? Anyway,
So
I'm sorry. Sorry to disturb you, and Jordan will stumble off in his half speed.
Okay, that's half speed, yeah. So we'll go back to Tink now. So Tink, you're following him as I don't know where Malice and where Dan was during that, but Tink, you're following this little this little Derro, and he dashes off towards the docks. You see this clump of quite dull brown mushrooms, quite large, probably about 4 or 5 feet tall. And he seems to stand on the edge of these, glances around to see if anyone's looking. Malice, are you with Malice and Dan? Are you with Jim, or are you?
No, I am
following?
following that Becking Derro. I'm hoping to get within 60 feet of him.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm
I'll be
following
following.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you're a little bit behind. It's going to take you a while to catch up. Yeah. He's stopped now. He's at the docks. He stood by this big patch of mushrooms, Malice, as you see him, and he's looking around to see if he can see anyone.
How far away would you say I am?
Probably about 80 feet at the moment.
Okay,
So
I am going to I'm going to Misty Step 30 feet towards him.
Yeah.
Let me just use that so I've got it gone. And as soon as I am within 60 feet of him, so if I was at 80 feet, I should now be, I will cast Hold Person on him.
Okay.
Oh.
What's the save on that? DC 13
DC
wisdom.
13 Wisdom.
If I see her Misty Step, can I cast something?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how far away am I.
Bolts.
So yeah, you try to hold person, you feel it start to take, and then there's this weird resistance, and it's not like a force of will or a incredibly wise person. It's more like someone who's so absolutely unaware of what's going on around them that the spell doesn't take. It's like kind of oblivious rather than wise. Tink, what did you want to do?
It would have impacted that, would it? No, it wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do it now because she's already cast it. Jamie, stop asking for chaos.
Well, I meant to clarify earlier, as the magic wibbly wobbly gone away.
You can't see any of the magical light around here, and nothing weird has happened. But
Okay.
as you look around the city, you can see it in patches all through the streets, just not here.
Fuck it, I'll cast this then.
Okay. So as Malice's spell takes hold, he's kind of not really aware what's going on, but he's aware that a spell has been cast on him. And the fairy fire starts to descend.
Oh, so close. Fucking
And
advance.
it starts to take, and then it just seems to dissipate, and you see him look startled, and he just dashes into this patch of mushrooms and goes out of sight. Bring you to this map, it'd be easier to
Did he manage to see either of us? Do we know? Did he look round? Did we make eye contact?
he didn't seem to figure out who'd cast on him. He just ran. He seemed kind of quite oblivious until the spell effects. So it's a tree on the map, but this here is a patch of mushrooms, and he seems to just dash into it. About 5 foot tall, brown, unassuming.
So I would have been, by that point, if I've come out of Misty Step cast, I am now running
Yep, that's fine.
So, did we left stool on? No, we've got stool.
You have got
Stool-
stall.
Stool is waddling along with Drodin, because
Yeah,
if
he's
Drodin's half speed, they're probably going the same speed.
not far off. Drodin's probably
think-
slower than Stall.
I was just going to say, Still's probably faster than me now. I think he's got 20 movement speed and I've got 15.
Yeah. And I'm not exhausted, so let's get rid of that effect.
Movement is set to combat.
Is it? 1 second. How about now?
Nope. I assume I was somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And when I see Malice running, I'll descend and just join her.
Yeah, as you descend, you definitely from above you see him open a hatch and drop down into darkness. Tink. And close the hatch behind him.
Ooh. Malice, there's a hatch.
So as I come running up, she points to the hatch. Can we try and open the hatch?
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
I
might be
wait
a-
because I've
the-
been...
There might be a trap. Now he knows that we're after him.
Can we check for traps?
Sure. Investigation.
It feels weird to do this, not as a rogue.
You do it. I have quite good investigation. Oh, a good roll. Very good.
Well, thank you for the support. Any trap?
Did you roll? Sorry.
Yeah, 15.
15. Doesn't seem to be. No. Just looks like a hatch.
Can we open it?
Yes.
Wherever
Knowing
he's
how weak. No, go ahead.
wherever he's gone, he's going probably to the people that we're looking for and warning them that we are in pursuit. Should we be going right now? Or should we
If we
wait?
can catch him before he gets there, we haven't got time to talk, though.
I
Is
don't
it
have
actually
any
big enough
spells.
to fit down?
It is. Yeah. Yeah, it looks big enough for a dwarf or a normal sized person.
Okay, you're scary, so we'll do what you say. Open it up.
Crampton,
you
can you help
see-
me with this, please?
You lift the hatch, you see a rusty iron ladder descending down into pitch black.
Dancing lights start to spiral
Okay.
down.
Oh,
Sickly green colour.
I'll activate my goggles of night.
Okay.
After 20 minutes, I catch up.
Well, as they've checked for traps and you've started to open it and look down, Drodin kind of wanders up with stool.
Oh, Stool, I'm not quite sure how you're going to get down here. Do you think you can hold on to this ladder?
We could leave him with Derrendil, and Derrendil and Stork can go back to the ship.
That's true. I'm not sure Darren will be able to get down here. Would you be okay doing that?
Doesn't do ladders. Still doesn't know ladders. I'm so
Okay.
squeaky.
That voice
Okay.
change is so distorted for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Okay. And Malice will also make a mental note that when they're back on the ship, to get Stool to practice climbing up and down the ladder that goes between the two decks. She needs him to be prepared. Matt, we can't hear you again if you're talking. Nope.
Well, in the meantime, I managed.
Can't hear me.
No, we
Ah.
can now.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry.
whilst you were suing this fellow, I managed to distract one of the vendors he stopped at long enough to grab this swath of materials that he had seemingly dumped within a box of offcuts. No, I don't know if it's wise to keep hold of that for the time being, or...
Well, can you read it as we descend?
Yes, we're currently in pursuit.
Yeah, I suppose, oh... Yeah, if I open it all out now, I can probably use my mage hand to hold it as I descend, so that I can reach and climb.
Sure. So you all start descending into the darkness, the dancing lights flickering around, casting a dim light on these caverns that look, as you descend, like they were carved out by water long ago. Drips of water, you can see stalactites hanging from the ceiling. You can't see the bottom, it goes quite deep. But you hear the sound of little feet running off in the darkness. As you open the scroll and look, you can see a very well-drawn charcoal sketch of a stone giant. And the name Dohun underneath.
I feel
Who
like
you will recall was the brother of Rahud, who was the giant that you killed.
I will relay that that's what the dry slop of leather was.
And we definitely need to return to them.
Yes, it sounds like they're under some degree of threat, which is not ideal.
So, as you descend, sorry, there's multiple exits here. You descend. Who's going first?
Going to ask,
Mm-hmm.
if I just allowed myself to fall, would I move faster? And then when because now I have the dark vision, and when I can see the bottom, I fly again.
You can move. I think it's 60 feet around or something. So yeah,
That's pretty
you
much
probably-
like taking
yeah.
a dash to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably about 120 feet down. So Tink first.
If I'm speediest, yes.
Malison's very much in pursuit, so she's happy to go second.
I'll probably go after because he's only got 25 feet.
Oh, stubby legs.
I'm going last because I'm kind of half reading and half exhausted.
So you've left Stall with Derrendil.
Yes,
Oh,
they
yeah.
are under orders to go back to the ship.
Yeah.
Tink, as you get there to the bottom first, you see a door close here. As the
I
others follow you down.
cannot see it, but
Oh, have you not got your dark vision on? Hang on.
I can see. I just didn't see anything ping. I can see that we're in a tunnel, and I can see the party token.
Oh, you can see a lot of white.
Oh, you can't see. Okay. Let me pull you to the right map then. That would
Yeah,
help.
on this map.
You're on the wrong map. Is everyone in a little room with a ladder?
Mine's just bright
Yeah.
white.
I'm in a room with a ladder.
It's now
With a
loading.
door.
I'm gonna
I do not
refresh
have
this.
a token with vision in this scene.
You don't have a token with vision.
That's what it
That's
said
weird,
when I
'cause-
got onto the map.
Giving you dark vision, you should be able to see.
The stream is
Refreshed.
also not on.
The stream's not on.
It was on a moment ago.
It's on the correct map, but it doesn't have a token.
Oh, no, I know. I'm trying to find it and put it on. So
Oh.
I'm aware of that. It's because you've gone in a different entrance than I was planning for you to go in. So,
You decided what entrance we entered in.
well, I
You can
know.
make it whatever you want, Matt.
I know. Can everyone see now?
Mine's still a white map.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I can see people and stuff, but it's just a black outline and then white with a door.
How?
Pull you out, pull you back in. I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's after I've refreshed it as well, so.
I have
See
to
a
give
big-
you.
See a
Carry
big
on.
map.
We're in the previous one now, the tunnels.
Veronica, are
Nah.
you out?
Oh, I just got grey screen.
Grey screen.
Yeah, nothing loading.
I'm still getting a white map. This one at least has the guidelines on it, and now it's the party token rather than individual tokens.
I'm going to move you back now. Yeah, Veronica's dropped off. I'm back.
Yeah, I've been kicked out. And I can't get back in because it thinks I'm still in.
By now.
This is a very strange issue.
Mm-hmm.
On the map now?
I'm on the map, I just can't see it.
Yeah.
You can't
It's
see
fine.
either.
No, I
I-
can see.
like-
Fine.
Yeah,
I'm at
mine
the
just
grey
doesn't have any
loading, so-
details.
Understand why
That's
it doesn't
fine.
have details.
It doesn't matter, it's still playable.
Yeah, if it doesn't load for me, I can watch the stream. I've got it open.
Yeah, same here actually.
Oh, I'm in.
And you can see.
Yes.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Woo!
So
Fine.
as you descending, you see you drop. You just basically stop flying and plummet, and then start flying just before you hit the floor. You see you hear more than see, but the door. There is a single door in this cavern where the wall has clearly been carved and smoothed, and a stone door fitted. You see the door shut, and you hear a click.
Can I inspect it for traps?
You can.
I have these tools if you need to borrow them. I don't know why.
Okay. You don't think it's trapped, just locked. But
Oh,
as you're examining it and looking, you can hear voices the other side of the door. More than one.
They're waiting for us.
You can probably destroy the door if it's necessary.
Oh,
This
do we
is-
want to talk or do we want to attack?
I don't know how likely it is we're going to get away with talking after attempting to stop him, but we can always try that first and maybe have some sort of trigger word for if we realise it's going south and we need to attack.
One of us screams the word attack.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Can anyone open doors, or should we just knock? Are you saying? Attempt to be diplomatic here.
Oh, we can try that at least.
I could attempt to either break the door down or pick the lock. I'm no servitor, but don't think I'm terrible at it particularly.
Let's try knocking first. I mean, I'll try knocking with my tiny, tiny hands.
Malice will just kind of loudly kind of shout out, excuse me, we were hoping to talk? We mean no harm.
What do you want to talk about?
We were hoping to speak with Drocky.
Why?
We would like to inquire about the business that he is involved with.
No. None of your
Why not?
business. Be gone, or we'll kill you.
Well, that is quite an escalation, is it not? We wish only
This
to
is
talk.
private property. Start off.
Who owns this property?
We do.
And who is the we that is speaking? Do you have a deed for this land?
I'm going to
Are you-
open the door, and we're going to kill you. You have a minute to leave. Back up the ladder.
I'll look round at the others. Anything that they want to do? I'll take the silence as a no. Malice will start counting down from 60 if it's an option.
As the counting that with the manifest echo, it says you can do it within 15 feet of you if you can see. Is there a lock or anything I can see through?
You get down and you look at the lock, but you can't see. Yeah, you can't see anyone through it, unfortunately.
Well, I'll just manifest my echo just in front of the door so they'll think it's someone to attack.
Okay,
It's just a bonus action.
no worries.
I just want to place myself, so in this time, I want to be next to the door so that I can reach around when it opens.
So Dan, just describe what your echo looks like for everyone's benefit.
Yeah, so it's just exactly like me, but it's like you can see through it, so it's like opaque. Like, so yeah, it's like almost like a ghost me.
So you would see this ghostly apparition of this grey dwarf suddenly appear in front of the door, as if ready for a fight.
I was going to say, do you know what else you see appear? And I cast mirror image, but I've been seemingly kicked out again.
Oh
Rude.
no! So another little,
Three little tinks.
three little tinks
Three
appear, and
little
then
tinks.
and then like flash in and out of existence as if glitching.
Mage armor.
Okay, sure. Go for it. You hear the
One,
time counting
two.
down.
Yeah, I say From will hold action with his echo to attack as soon as whoever opens the door.
Oh yeah, I'll hold a firebolt.
You hear the lock click and unlock. but it
This is
doesn't
about-
open.
Oh.
I'll be holding a spell. Have we got to the full end of the time? So they've unlocked it, but they've not opened it. Are you going to come and kill us then?
We're just
Big
preparing.
words for a small man.
We're just preparing. Do you like fire? Get ready for
Take
lots
to leave
of
it, actually.
fire. Ah, well, today is not your day.
Open the door, Droden, with Mage Hand.
Yeah, I will do exactly that.
Oh no, there's 4 tinks in total. Just saying.
There's
That's
4.
That's a lot
now
of
I'm
tinks.
back in. Sorry, I made 3 appear. Let me put it.
Okay.
Well, Crumb would move
Mage
as
hand.
far back as possible. Because I've
Okay.
been kicked out, so it's just loading.
Have you? Okay. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with it tonight. The internet problems.
Anything. No, that's the wrong spell. That's why.
As you open the door with Mage Hand Drodin, let's roll initiative.
Yay.
Yay. I think your echo probably goes straight after you, does it?
Yeah. For some reason, once I choose my echo, I can't actually choose myself.
How do you mean? Is it because your echo can't see? I think if you just select off, like drag and drop away from your echo, you should be able to. You should be able to
Yeah,
see.
that's it. That's it.
Okay, so who's up first? It looks like Tink. The door opens and you see stood in formation around the door 3 Dwergar, and behind them you can see another with a leather apron, big beard fanning out from his chin, sort of almost grey-blue skin, and these piercing orange eyes, and he is just necking a potion as the door opens. So let's get this started. The
Reading
server's
counts
really
as-
laggy tonight.
What happens with the held actions?
Yeah, you can take them. And they're going to take theirs as well. So who wants to
So-
go first?
Well, I can't see them. I don't know
No,
where they
I
are.
can't see any of them either.
Do we?
None
Yeah.
at all.
Oh, now I
I
can
can
see someone.
see.
Yeah.
You can see one now. Yeah.
Oh, 2.
Sorry, they were hidden. Don't know why.
I have an extra tink, please.
You want another Tink?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do need to tell me which one's the actual one. We'll put the
It's
fake ones
based
behind
on-
her.
It's based on them rolling. Or am I?
Yeah, I know,
trying to
but
at me?
obviously just use. You got to use the same one to move. Obviously.
Okay, yeah.
So if I take my held action, so mine will just be Fairy Fire. then I can find the right leading. Sorry, my thing isn't opening. Yeah, that's fine. So, 20-foot cube. And that would be a DC 12 dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Top one, middle one, bottom one. I'm really sorry they all save.
And just so it doesn't
something about them,
screw-
they seem to be resilient with magic. It just doesn't seem to hold like you would expect.
Okay, and then just because I think it screws us over if we walk into it, as soon as I know it hasn't worked on them, I'll drop it.
Okay. No problem. Anyone else? You will see these three figures just stood there with javelins. They were holding their actions too. The top one will fling it straight at your echo. And you'll have disadvantage because you're right next to it. 14 to hit.
No, that misses.
Okay. The middle one will also launch a javelin. He's not stood right next to it, so he doesn't have disadvantage, but 13, which misses as well.
Yeah.
And then the bottom one is going to throw one at Malice, who he saw casting. Sorry.
Of course that hits.
Sorry, Hazel.
It's okay. I'm rolling shit today. I deserve it. 16.
That's not right. Ignore that. That's
okay.
The second bit is for when they're in large. So it's actually 7 points of damage total,
okay.
not 16. Ignore that. That's because it's rolling. They can enlarge, so that's rolling the enlarged damage. Okay, anyone else with held actions?
Would my echo be able to reach one of them around the door to attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll get his maul and try and attack one.
For it.
Sorry, getting used to it again.
All right, don't worry.
Your first time playing D&D in a long time.
Yes. That's 22 to hit.
Hey, that's a hit. Roll damage.
I don't know what all of them are for.
How much does that do? It can't be.
I think again it's doing it like it's enlarged. So it should only be one, but because I've got Great Weapon Master, it re-rolls 1s and 2s, is it?
Okay. Does that apply to your echo as well?
Yeah, because he just attacks as if I attack.
Okay,
So,
okay, that's 7 then. That's cool. That works then. Yeah. 10. Okay. Top one.
1 second. What's a maul? I can't actually see what the damage is supposed to be. Yeah, it says 2d6 plus 3. It's got on D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
for some
that's
reason.
right. It's 10.
Yeah.
10. Yeah. That sounds right. It sounds
Yeah.
right. You are a melee character, so it makes sense. Yeah, your echo sort of, they throw javelins, but just seem to miss it. I think they're a bit startled by this weird ethereal mirror image of you, and the javelins miss. But one of them unfortunately does manage to throw one and spear Malice. Poor Malice, she always gets a hard time. So we're at the top of the round.
Oh, my action.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
This is the only one I can see on the other side of the door, because I am this
Okay.
one up here.
Yeah, that's a hit. Roll damage.
And I'll always know which one it is, because the other tinks don't have dark vision.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you clip him, hit him in the side of the shoulder. He spins back, but grits his teeth and gets ready and starts lifting up this huge iron pick. Okay. Right, so top of the round. I seem to have put Rain in, but I'm going to take Rain out if that's all right. So Dan, Crumclun, up first.
Yeah, so Crumb will get his longbow out and attack the actual Crumb.
Oh, hang on, what's going on? Sorry.
That's all right.
It's reset the blooming thing. Can everyone remember what order they're in?
I was a 5.
Yeah, it's Crumb, Tink, and then I don't know.
Apparently, I'm dying now.
Oh, right. Have I just changed your... Yeah, I thought I was adjusting your initiative. I'm just going to roll the Dwegar again. I'm sorry about that. And I'll move him down a bit because he wasn't that high. Something going on with this tonight. I don't know what. So it was Tink. Malice, do you know where you were? You
I think
muted.
you're muted, Hazel.
So Crumclun, Tink, Malice, and then Drodin.
Yeah.
Drinking episode where every time someone says, I think you're muted, we have to drink.
Yeah, I've been drinking already. Does it not show?
We'd be fucked within an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Dan, I don't know why it won't let me launch the combat. It's really annoying. What's going on with it tonight? There we go. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, so he'll get his longbow out and fire at the one that he injured earlier. $15.
That's a hit.
Take 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Is it the same one?
Yeah, the same one that hit before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's looking bad now. He's looking hurt.
And
Blood
then
sprays
also,
out.
yeah, also he will use Unleash Incarnation. You heighten your Echo's Fury. Whenever you take the attack action, you can make one additional melee attack from your Echo's position. It just says attack action, so
Go for it.
bow as well. So yeah, I can do that 3 times.
Nice.
So he will hit him with the same one with his maul. When it rolls, it's going a bit slow. Yeah, it's not letting it roll. I'll just do a normal D20. Oh. It'd be 10. So that probably missed.
Miss, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smart from the first blow. Sees the second one coming, ducks underneath it.
And then I will use my bonus action to swap places with my Echo.
Okay, go for it.
I can't actually move the Echo because it's in combat.
Is it
so
not?
Yeah, you might have to move.
Okay, no problem.
Cool, and that's the end of his turn.
Nice. So next is Pink.
I will just throw a fireball at this one again.
They go for it.
Is this a bad time to remind everybody that you all had a nap, but I didn't?
I'm also horribly ill. I think it balances out a little bit.
Yeah, that's fireball goes flying over as Crumplan sort of shimmers and takes the place of his Echo. This firebolt just flies over the top of his head and strikes this Dwergar. Again, you hit him in the same place, right in the shoulder. He looks, kind of annoyed and frustrated that this is all going wrong for them.
And then I'm gonna back us up a bit.
Hey. Malice.
So I think that there's one on the other side of the wall to me. So I'm within 5 feet, but does it count as 5 feet if I try and move back?
He's not going to get an attack of opportunity if that's what you mean, no, because the wall's in the way.
So then I am going to move back right into the back corner. But in doing that, I will cast Bless. Where is it? Here it is. And so I will pick Crumclum,
Yeah.
Tink, and do I do myself or do I do Drodin?
Are your spells mainly saves?
A few of them. I've got a couple of attacks, but I don't know what Drodin has to prepare to make that kind of decision.
My spells never change because I don't have anything extra in my spellbook.
Do you think I sit and memorize your spells myself to know what you've got then?
Fair.
Like, you're important to me, but you're not that important to me. I will bless myself because I feel that I need it. And that will be it.
Okay. So, next up, like it's one of the Dwergar. Which is this fella in the middle, and you will see him start to, like, his bones and joints start to pop and crack, and he just seems to suddenly double in size. He enlarges.
I mean, he
What
can't
about
fit
that?
through the door now.
And he has grabs one of his javelins from his back, which is actually quite large now. All his equipment seems to have grown with him weirdly. And he's going to throw it straight at Crumplan.
Yeah, that hits.
That's a hit. Right, so don't panic at this damage initially because it rolls both at the same time. So it is,
5 plus 2, so 7.
yeah, 7. That's it for him. Drodin.
Now,
Actually, yeah, go on. Sorry.
no, you carry on.
Dan, take that damage off. He's used his action. He can't throw javelin, so
Okay.
take your 7 back.
Yeah, I was just
GM
gonna,
mistake.
yeah, I was just going to ask, is it an action to cast it? So I've got that thing as well.
It's an innate ability, but it is an action. Yeah.
So now that that guy has grown quite large, I can't see the guy behind him, can I?
No.
No. I guess I'm just going to have to attack him then. So I'm going to cast Scorching Ray. It just voluntarily did it. It's not the way I was intending for that to work, but 17.
17 hits.
It takes 4 whole fire damage.
Oof.
I'm going to
Loses an eyebrow.
and then I'm going to do it this way because this is the sensible way. Another one is 18.
Another one?
That's 5 fire damage. Yeah, you fire 3 bolts with Scorching Ray.
Of course you do, yeah, yeah.
And then the last one is Dirty 20.
Nice.
That's another 5 fire damage.
Nice. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 in fast succession. He's burned, his skin is burned. He definitely loses more than an eyebrow. Not happy. He's blooded.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. Crunklin, you you see this bottle come flying over the head of this huge Dwergar from behind him, and you no, it's not safe. You see this bottle of green liquid come flying over the top, and it misses you totally. Smashes on the floor in front of you, and you see this green liquid hissing and sizzling on the ground, but it does not. It does not hurt you.
From just smile.
Yeah. And so it's another of the Dwergar, which is this one. He's going to take a swing for you. He's not going to waste his action trying to change. Swings this massive pick.
Misses.
That's a 12, misses. And then the other one is going to do the same.
And this melee character all of a sudden. Thanks for sacrificing yourself.
40.
Misses.
I assume misses too.
Yeah, misses.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you remember what it's like to have a melee character in the group. Top of the round.
Yeah, so he's just going to attack the one that's injured with his maul.
Plus a d4 from Bless.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
Will be
8.
8 damage. Yeah, because
Has-
it re-rolls 1s and 2 because Great Weapon Master.
Yeah, how do you want to do it?
So yeah, it just gets some more, swings it around and crushes his head straight into the wall.
Yeah, just slumps to the ground in his own blood. It's a bit of a gurgle, but not a lot else. Anything else? Sorry.
How tall is the room?
The ceilings are probably about 12 foot.
Okay. No. Yeah, I'll potentially recast Echo, but I'm not sure if you have to dismiss it before you recast it. I'm trying to read up on that, so if you carry on, I'll let you know in a
Okay.
minute.
No worries. Tink.
I don't see a skull.
It's because you killed one that you can't see.
Oh. Oh, okay, yeah, I missed. Yeah. Is this one wearing metal armor?
He is wearing scale mail. It's leather covered with overlapping plates.
So that wouldn't count.
I think it is metal.
It's difficult because our new friend is in the way.
You can fire through friends anyway. No, but yeah, no, it is metal. It's got metal plates over leather, so.
But I wanted to. I had a touch spell, so I needed to be in the vicinity.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just fire, but I won't keep it boring. D4, yeah?
Yep.
Nice, roll damage.
I miss my spell slots.
3. Is there
Yeah.
no bonuses on your damage? Okay. Oop. Yeah, he's looking hurt. You strike him, he's definitely wounded, and he can sense that perhaps this fight might end in his death if he's not careful. Anything else?
No, I am out of everything.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, everyone
Blimey.
rest. I get everything back on a long rest, and I ain't had one.
Oh, I see.
All I had going into this was a first level and a second level. I used my second for mirror image and my first to try fairy fire. I'm out.
Blimey.
I did say that taking a long rest was a good idea. Just putting it out there.
And it's your turn.
And I will guiding bolt the big guy. So I've moved over a little bit just to give me a better chance at it. So I've got a very itchy nose. I'll try not to sneeze. Come on, open up. Do as you're told. Mm. 19 on the big guy.
19 on the big guy. That's a hit. Roll damage.
A 10 radiant, so not great, but the next attack will have advantage.
He's looking really bad. He's bigger, so the spray of blood is bigger. He looks bad. He looks very bad. Is that everything?
Yes.
Guy is going to step forward. blocking the door. And swing his war pick at Crumpklun.
No, misses.
Oh dear, what's wrong with these guys? Rubbish. He misses. And then he's going to stay in contact with you, but he's going to step aside slightly so the big guy can see you behind.
Before that, it doesn't say anything about whether you can recast it, so I'll just move him behind Crumb.
Okay, yeah, just his 20-foot movement.
Yeah,
or
he would
whatever
have
it is.
moved. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fire
Ferdin.
breath incoming.
Jim.
I'm going to Scorching Ray again. Because
Okay.
why not?
Why not, indeed?
So I shall cast, and these are going to be on the big guy there.
Yeah.
So the first one is 12, which I'm assuming is a miss.
It is.
Bugger. The dirty 20 on the second.
That's a hit.
So that's 7 fire damage. And the third bolt is another 12. So fuck me running, I guess.
Okay, so that's 19 in total.
No, that's just a whole 7 fire damage.
Oh. Oh, 12 misses, yeah. Sorry, 7 damage. Okay.
Yep.
Taking too much damage off.
Nope.
There we go. No, that's not right either. There we go. Okay. Bad luck. Where the alchemist, you see him taking a real deep breath. It was a good guess. It was a good guess, Tink, what he drank before. So can Crumpklun, don't think anyone's in a line, are they? But let's see what we can do. It's a 30-foot line. If it lets me do it. Right. Yeah, I think I can get Crumpklin and who's by the ladder, Drodin.
You dick.
So it's a DC 13 dexterity saving throw. On
Dan,
a
you've
failed
got a-
save, you take half.
Dan's got a D4.
And yeah, you've got a D4. So that's a pass from Dan. So you take half of that. So that's 8.
Yep.
And Drodin.
I got it. 18.
So you take half as well. 8. So you just see him take this deep breath in and just this flaming like line just extends out like ridiculously long, and yeah.
Somehow the guy at half movement manages to get out of the way of
Yeah.
fire.
And then this guy is gonna swing at. He's looking bad, but he's gonna make a swing at Crumpklin as well. They're not got much luck so far. They keep missing. No.
No, it's a miss as well.
Yeah, totally a miss. Back to. So it's on 10. Do we want to call it there? We leave it with that round where it's yeah, Crumbclun's taking a few down. Tink's jabbing away at them with the firebolts. Drodin with the Scorching Ray doing quite a lot of damage as well. And Malice, doing the supportive caster, blessing everyone.
Attempting to be a cleric.
Clericking. Yes.
Do it. It's more fun to set things on fire.
Well, I did guiding bolts on one.
Until someone
You
dies.
did. It's all fun and games until someone dies. But the clericking stops people dying. That's the point,
but
right?
also, for Malice, when people die, that's also quite fun and games.
Unless they die and you spent your 3rd level on a fireball instead of Revivify.
Too soon!
It will always be too soon.
Yeah, but remember that the cleric in this group also used the last spell to bring back a mushroom rather than the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Nice.
Too much.
Very true.
If anyone is still watching, for context, Danny died in our Icewind Dale game because Cass, my cleric, had wasted her 3rd level spell on a fireball and couldn't use Revivify.
Was it
Yes.
a waste?
Well, to be fair to you, Veronica, like Danny, that ice troll was really giving us a kick in, and I think even Neven tried to telepathically pull Nashi out of there to get him out of harm's way, and he was like, he said, I got this, which is now why we're all so terrified of saying, I got this, which Jim likes to say as much as possible to like tweak our trauma, basically. But yeah, you got brutalized, didn't you? It was like dead.
Yeah, after, what was it, 2 crits in a row?
2 crits in a row, full damage pretty much.
Yeah, brutal critical at the time, so full damage on the 1 die.
It was harsh. It was harsh.
And then he fall down dead and his health potions fell out his pack because I forgot I had them.
Yeah. So true. So true. So yeah, we've all lived with that trauma ever since. We did bring Nashi back, but you came
I
back
have
as a female
inherited
Minotaur.
trauma from it. I don't even have the actual trauma. I've just got inherited trauma.
Oh, you will be pleased to know, though, Dan. I started playing a paladin after a period of time in Icewind Dale, and we went to explore a ship, and we found a boat that was stranded on the shore with a hole in the middle. And I went, I'm going to check out what's down that hole. I jumped down the hole, came face to face with an ice troll alone, and everyone went, oh no, not again. And I went, don't worry, I got this. And everyone was like, oh
No!
Don't say that.
Bad luck
So
with
true.
paladins.
Yeah, they're not always very lucky, are they? They're hard to hit, but when you hit them, they die like everyone else. So, cool. Right, I'm going to stop the stream. I should probably ping 6 followers. It might be us, all of us. But thanks for watching. Yeah, we got a few viewers. Thanks for joining us. Sorry for all the technical trouble tonight. I don't know what was going on. It will take me quite a while to remember how to raid. I do this every week. I forget how to do it. I actually can't see any channels, D&D channels. Any suggestions?
There might not be any.
There aren't any. We can't be the only one tonight.
We can.
There's something called Joe Fudge. I don't know who that is, but they've got a lot of people watching.
Let me check the Twitch stream beginners group, see if anyone's live.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm just having a look down the list. Let's see if we can find someone who's not got hundreds of viewers. Someone who could do with a little boost. Digital Dungeons, tabletop RPGs. They got 9.
Yeah, send them. That sounds
these kind
appropriate.
of situations, and she
Everyone's
was
left.
she
Got 1
has,
viewer ready to raid. No, 4 viewers ready to
if
raid.
somebody look into her eyes, there are pure hate.
5. Okay.
It's an interesting moment just before
for
we
a
sent
location,
it,
but the mages
where I looked
ran
at
off
the chat
towards the
to
card as
see
well.
what
So actually, you
people
do
were
have a
watching our
choice. You can either
streams.
get